This is OSNG, Old School Next Generation. We're a dad and two sons who grew up in the woods and learned to hunt the old way. This show isn't about telling you how to hunt. It's about the stories, the screw-ups, the lessons you only learn the hard way, and the memories you don't want to lose. None of it exists without my dad. He taught us how to hunt, how to act, and when to shut up and pay attention. OSNG isn't a podcast. It's who we are. We're all freaks. And this is Old School Next Generation.
Welcome back to OSNG. Last episode, we told you how 2020 started, and honestly, we probably should have just quit while we were ahead. $2 down early, everything going our way. That should have been enough, but it wasn't, because somehow it just kept getting better. So tonight, we're going to talk about the rest of the season. Jamie finally getting it done with a bow, then topping it with his biggest buck ever on the shotgun opener, and Jaden stepping up the next day and saying, yeah, I'll take one of those too. Back to back to back to back moments that turned a good season into a great one we will never forget. This is OSNG. Let's finish the story. I'm Clark. This is Jamie. This is Jaden. This is part 2 of 2020, our best season ever. I started to say thank God for COVID, but I'm not going to go there. But
no, don't do that.
It was a year.
please.
Bite your tongue, man. It was a year that we got a lot of time in the woods, and we turned that into a lot of success. In episode 1, we talked about the 9-pointer that I killed and the freak. This episode, it's all about you guys. It is all about the deer that you guys killed to make it a $5 season. We filled that cooler. We had a skull mount and 3 shoulder mounts out of that year. But we're going to start.
There was an expensive year.
It was a very expensive year. Yeah. But, you figure that when that stuff happens, you figure out a way,
I started selling my toes.
Okay.
Gotta pay the bills. You didn't have any bills.
Yeah, no kidding.
You still don't have any bills. I got some.
Hey, that's how I judge my season now. When I call and I get one, your mom's first question is it one you're going to mount?
Must be nice. My wife goes, "Did you see anything?" I hope you missed.
We're going to start out with my season being over. I put down the bow and I picked up the camera and spent a lot of time still because I wasn't ready to be done for the year. I sat in the stand with a camera for the first time ever and loved that. Took a lot of cool pictures. Figured out that I needed a better camera if I wanted to do that. But it was about you guys. And I spent the rest of the season kind of as a guide. And you were the first one to have any success after that. With the buck we call
Mini-me.
No, that's not what we call it. I think Pincushion was the name that Jaden and I gave it. Tell us the story of Pincushion, Jamie.
So
your first buck.
I'm very proud of this buck. Thank you.
You should be,
jerks.
You put a lot of money into it.
Put a whole paycheck worth, man.
Hey, arrows and broadheads are expensive, man.
We were still shooting Walmart arrows at that point.
It still wasn't cheap. What would you put 5 of them in?
It wasn't. Okay. All right.
He goes, okay, enough.
All right. As we talked about last episode, with nothing going on during the summer, we just tinkered. That's what Jaden and I did all summer, was shoot bows and get it as accurate as far away as possible. And I had gone into this woods, I think the Tuesday before you killed the freak, and my whisker biscuit fell off my bow.
I said whisker biscuit.
Whiskey biscuit. So naturally,
Was it a Walmart whiskey biscuit?
Yeah. No, it was Papa Joe's.
Oh, okay.
It came on the bow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Won't be you for that.
That's just funny.
Oh, dude, that was a crash out in the woods that I have. Nope, I've topped it one time. The night you killed Vader. Those are my 2 biggest crash outs in the woods.
Yep, fair enough.
Yeah, okay.
But I look down. I'm sitting in the ghost blind that we talked about. I've got it all shrubbed in, and it looks gorgeous. I'm sitting over this, clearing as they come through to cross the road, and I'm checking my bow out, and I go, oh no. And I start looking around the ground, and Whisker Biscuit is
You lost your biscuit?
nowhere to be found. Okay.
Hate it when you lose your biscuit.
Can you just let me talk? I mean, my God. You had your episode.
That's right. Yeah.
I didn't lose my biscuit.
You don't have a biscuit.
You used a crossbow.
Oh.
That's what my wife uses.
Oh.
Some would say you're soft.
Some would.
All right. So
I got the scar to prove that I needed this.
Go ahead. Finish your story.
are we good?
Yeah. Tell us about pincushion.
I'm getting there. So I march out of the woods, put a new Whisker Biscuit on, and felt confident in my bow tuning, except I noticed myself at the end of the session shooting high. And I just thought it was me. I don't know how many arrows I'd shoot in a day. Some days I'd push between 100 and 120 and just work ladders back and forth. So I thought, I'm moving too much. Time to call it a day. It was good.
Sure.
Well, I went into the woods. You guys didn't hunt that morning. You actually drove around that morning.
You know what I was doing?
A pincushion?
Yep. Yes, you were, because it was
That seems to be a
pouring.
theme. I started to say it rained that morning.
Oh,
yeah.
God, it
But that
rained so
seems to
bad.
be a theme that you're sleeping in the morning, because you were sleeping in the morning I killed the
I'm
freak,
not
too.
a huge fan of morning hunts. We know this.
Well, with the access that I had, I was fired up for mule deer, and I knew that they would move after the rain. So I went in, and it just poured on me.
Was that the morning that I saw that?
Monster.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I remember that now.
Yep, because
It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, we thought about
Yep.
making a move back to the house
Yep.
and decided with the deer that we
Yep.
have in the area, we'd stay where we were. And
Saw a buck we'd never seen before that was pretty close to 200 inches.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh wait, was this down the
It was
road?
over by his house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Across
what
the
you're
road in
talking
front of
about
me.
now.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that morning.
Yeah, it was the same morning, but we decided to stay put because of the deer in the area, and I knew that it would stop at some point and they'd move. And as the rain kind of ended, about 20 minutes later, I look over and they're crossing the road right where we always see them.
And what, our stand is 60, 70 yards off the road, probably? Oh, my gosh.
Every time.
He just can't.
Yeah, roughly. Not too far. They like to use a corridor, or they like to use a corridor to run north and south. They'd run this fence line and then hop the road and then be about 40 yards away from the stand.
Used to.
And oof. And they did exactly what I thought they were going to do. I mean, it was perfect. And I'm a little fired up. I see the backside of a deer, and if you are a deer hunter, you know that back angle always looks good.
On a
Always.
buck. You're talking about the back angle on a buck.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I was making a joke.
okay,
You didn't get
just
it.
making sure.
Anyway, yep, on a buck. He was wider than his ears. He was within 40 yards, and he started. He was still wider than his ears. Okay. Well, he starts to walk away, and I snort wheezed him in. And he snapped his head back towards me, put his head down, and started stomping. And I'm like, "Holy cow! I did it! I'm gonna call him in."
So yeah, you snort weeds and he comes in. You're all fired up anyway. That's a bad combination.
That was a
Well, I was
bad
about to say
combo.
though, I feel like if you get anything to come into a snort wheeze, you should probably not shoot them.
Well, yeah, hindsight's 20/20. I've yet to have a good deer come in to a snort wheeze.
I'm not sure I've ever had a deer come into a snort wheeze.
I haven't.
Yeah,
I don't snort.
Well, I have,
I've only done it a couple of times.
I don't snort wheeze.
Yeah,
buddy. I did, and here he came, and
because he was dumb.
Yep. Yeah, that's because he was.
Was there
out
a
of the
reason?
womb. Yeah. So he comes to about 15 yards, and you're going through the mental thing. Okay, here comes the buck. I think he's a shooter. He's going to be about 15 yards. Okay, stop him, draw back, shoot. Oh crap! The deer drops.
Oh no!
Yeah. Oh,
Bro.
that was a bad feeling. Okay, you never want to put a bad shot on a deer, and I was way too high. And I called you in the stand. I was freaking out. I felt so bad, and he's finished the job.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay.
Put another one in him right now.
Yep. And shot again, and it was high. And that was the moment that I realized it wasn't me that day. It was actually the rest. It was angled too far. And
so did it just come loose? Is that what happened that knocked it off of where it should have been?
I don't know if it was me. That was my first year working with stuff, and let me tell you, I've never done a rest again because of it. I paid a lot of money to make sure my bow was set up last summer, because that still haunts me. I'll pay a few $100 to make sure everything's tuned correctly and done right, because that hurt. But I called Kat's grandpa, and he came out because you were at work. Papa Joe had something going on. We didn't know what we were doing at that point. So, Poppy comes out, and we unfortunately had to put another one in him. It'd been 3 hours.
Which is why we call him Pincushion.
With the crossbow. Two arrows and a bolt. Yep. And we took care of him, and he's not as big as I thought he would be, but I freaking love that deer. I don't
First bow buck's bigger than my first bow buck.
Yep. I don't like the way it went down, but I was able to withstand the rain, call him in, and bring a deer home.
And I mean, again, it was bigger than my first bow buck. You called him in, you learned something from it, something that you hope you never experience again, that you never, make that mistake again with the rest. You learn from it. That happens. If you bow hunted long enough, that happens.
Well, that's I know that,
and we've given you a lot of grief about this deer.
I especially have given you a ton of crap about it, but fortunately for me, if I've hit a deer and not if I've either missed, or if I hit the deer, it lives. I don't know how I would be able to react with that.
Yeah, it would be rough.
I'll tell you that, because I haven't experienced it, so I'm going to tell you that.
Well,
but I've given
you bow hunt long enough, you will.
I know I will.
Yeah,
it will happen eventually.
Well, and it didn't go down the way I wanted it to, but it also exercised a lot of demons. A 60 inch 6-pointer.
60.
Yeah, he's got 60.
Yeah, he's got 60.
28 inches.
Yeah, it had like 15 on the spread. So anytime these two are going back and forth in our group message, our text message group,
that's the first thing that
and
pops up.
he gets a little too mouthy. Pincushion's picture, he sends it in the message, and that just kind of shuts it down.
But
he ate good.
Yeah, he did. He was nice and tender.
Yeah,
that's because he was 6 months old.
He was not 6 months old.
He still had his spot.
He might have been 16 months. He was a yearling.
Now the
he
first
was a yearling.
So I had not killed.
But wait, we're not done with you on this episode either about young deer.
No, I know.
So
I know.
So
mine's a little bit different.
My first bow kill, I was a 7th grader.
Yeah.
I had not killed a deer with a bow since 2012.
Yeah.
And this was 2020.
One we didn't find until much later.
No. This one was in Perry County, me and Pawpaw. I killed her in the North 20.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, hammered her.
Okay, so it wasn't your first bow kill, it was your first bow buck.
Yep.
That's right. I forgot in that North 20 you did get a doe.
Because my first buck, unfortunately, we found months later.
Yeah.
Which was a night I could have killed you. But oh well.
Where we found him, would we have found him? You think?
Yes.
Do you really think?
That was the only spot we didn't check, and the reason we didn't check it was because we ran does out of it. He didn't want to go back and hit that bedding area.
I don't remember.
I do.
I'm sure you do.
Well, first off, that night
he still struggles sleeping.
That night was wild. Okay, that night was completely wild. From the shot to walking out to tracking in the dark. I would have been like 5th grade, 4th grade, 5th grade.
No.
When did
you
Pa-
were older than that?
When did Pawpaw kill the 10? Because that's the 10 that squared off with us in the field.
I thought you had your girlfriend in the stand with you the night that you shot that deer.
Mm-mm.
No one.
No,
surprised
I'm gonna
you even
pull up-
Saw a deer.
Shut up.
At least a 4 leg.
That's the 15. That's the 15. That 10-pointer that Pawpaw killed was in
Yeah.
the field with us that
Yeah.
night. And
Oh, it was that night.
yes.
And we're talking about things that happened 11 years ago.
Oh, way longer than
Longer
that.
than that.
Well, I'm 27, and I said it would have been around 5th grade.
I don't remember you hunting that young.
Oh yeah, I started
Okay,
hunting
all right.
4th grade. Yeah. Well, you and Pawpaw had rules, and I met them.
Yeah, you did. You're big. You're big little boy.
Oh yeah, I was like 5'4", 165. I was
when you were
like a
when you were
double-eyed surprise.
when you were 7. Dude's pulling 50 pounds. He's 7 years old.
so. But yeah, this one
A fat burning machine.
is a baggie full of bacon. I'm on Adkins. But that deer really did exercise some demons because I had
Yeah.
a buck that I missed my first ever time hunting with a bow. I stuck him. I had dropped an arrow out of my rest on my diamond with Pawpaw.
Mm.
It came off. They look like deer hooves. They're old drop away rests,
Mhm. Yep.
and it fell off down the side of the antenna stand. I had not found that one, and then I couldn't hunt in high school. And I didn't get to bow hunt when E was born. So 2020 was like that first year back that I could really do it.
And Dad had some ridiculous rules.
Yeah, a little bit.
Looking back.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But that was it. You know, like I didn't know any better. So to get that done that night or that morning, it wouldn't happen again. You know, the selection at least. But I love that deer because I don't think.
No, we love it
was-
because we can give you grief about it.
Dude, I hated bow hunting.
Really?
I hated
Orange
bow
Army.
hunting because I
Orange
could
Militia.
not get it done.
Okay.
So many mess ups, so many times I had them in range and I'd get a shot and I'd screw it up.
Hey, if it was easy, everybody would do
And I'll
it.
tell you this.
Can you put your mic in front of your mouth?
Yeah.
He was not happy with my doe this year because he had a game and stuff like that.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
had
that
to-
was logistical stuff.
It was
What-
logistical. It wasn't you taking a doe.
I know. I'm just saying, like, it couldn't have been any perfect for me at that moment. And with him saying, "No, don't do it," I was like,
I wasn't real happy about it.
"Deer is already flown.
Hey,
She's down in the corn."
let me tell you, the side chat that was going on did not approve.
What is this kid doing?
And then he goes, "She's in the field," and I'm like, "Oh my god,
Hey,
my game is in an hour and a half,
It's
and my
okay, but
scorekeeper's going to go track a deer."
no, there was no tracking done.
There was no
I put it-
tracking.
I
He is
put it
true
right
about that.
through her. She ran 100 yards maybe, and
Maybe.
then wobbled and fell. And I was
Luckily-
like, boom. there
Luckily,
we
that
go.
property was closer to Pinckneyville than it could have been.
But
well,
I'm just- I was
and we
just
could
saying-
drive the truck right to her.
I
Yeah,
literally,
that
I
helps.
I couldn't. I need to deadlift more. And clean, I guess. Deadlift and clean. I just wanted, like, you saying that, how difficult it is, and it has to be absolutely perfect. In some instances, with her walking out in front of me like that, I was like, I can't pass this up, and it's a luck. I'm lucky.
and we
I
need
didn't.
we needed a freezer queen.
Well,
so
Yeah.
I was lucky I didn't because I didn't get another. Well, I got an opportunity. It's just, yeah, Loki. But I was just looking back at this last season. I was like, oh, okay, that was a great idea.
you
Well, it
take
worked
the
out all right.
opportunity when you get it.
Yeah.
because you don't know if
you
you're going to
don't
get
know if
another
you're going to
one.
get another one. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, let's go back to Pincushion. You get him on the ground, first bow buck ever. We give you all sorts of grief because he's not what you expected. And if you've hunted long enough, you're going to do that too. We talked about this last time. Lots of times when you walk up on the deer after the shot, you've got that ground shrinkage.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember in that same woods that you are talking about, I had that happen.
Yeah.
I got a good buck, man. He looked good coming at me, shot him. We're like, you sure this is the same deer you shot?
Are you sure this
It
is
happens.
him? As
It
we followed the
happens.
blood trail all the way to it.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen as much now with cameras
Yeah.
because we have a better idea of what's
I will
on
tell
that
you- I
farm
will
and
tell you
what we're
this,
looking at.
We've gotten bucks on camera where I'm like, oh, he might be a hit lister, and then you go and you see him, you
like
see him
Curly.
You see
Well, it
him
goes
on
both
hoof.
ways, though.
You see him on hoof, and you're like,
Yeah, I don't think so. But
he's not there yet.
there's been some that on camera you go, I don't know if he makes it. And
And
you
then
see him on the hoof, and you
it's
go,
crazy.
oh, yeah.
It's
I'm
crazy how
smoking that
it
dude.
can go either way.
Well, and I think Johnny kind of goes to that testament.
Mhm.
You know, Johnny's a hit lister. I don't care what he scores.
140 inches. He's probably a 7-year-old deer.
You know,
He's
I
a
love
mature
watching
buck.
Johnny. I
Yeah.
want to put him on the ground. But I was surprised at what he probably scores after
Yeah.
finding that
Yes.
shed. He looks much bigger in
Mhm.
pictures.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know, still a shooter, but it was like, oh,
mature deer.
all right.
And that is, as we've moved through this, the definition of shooter has changed. Okay.
Mhm.
Because at one point, a good 3-year-old was a shooter
Mhm.
to me.
That was the minimum
Yeah.
when I grew up.
Well,
was
and
the
that's where I
minimum.
said, Dad had some ridiculous rules. When you guys were teenagers, it had to be 135 plus.
Which would tick me off
Which-
because I'd stare at
and
the 8-pointers down
anybody-
here on the wall
well,
that were
and
130
it-
inches.
Anybody
Yeah, and I
that's-
agree. I completely understand that. That was a mistake that I made. I
mean-
should have let you shoot those deer.
Anybody that's listening to this podcast could probably hear that and go and chuckle because
Yeah.
it's like how many we're blessed with what we have, but in the grand scheme of things, with all of hunting land, let's just say we're in our area, 135 inches isn't always guaranteed.
All right, and there is literally a statistic on this, and it was hard to believe when I heard it, but I've heard it a couple of times. 10% of hunters will ever shoot a deer that
Yes.
qualifies for Pope and Young, which is 125 inches
With a bow,
with a
Right,
bow.
yeah.
Pope and Young's with a bow.
that's just crazy.
10% of hunters will ever kill a 125-inch deer, and your dad, in all his infinite wisdom, stupidity, when you guys were teenagers, was like, if he ain't 135 plus,
Yeah.
you're not shooting him.
Yep.
Which is ridiculous. My first bow buck was a 5-point yearling that probably would have scored 35 points.
That brings me that buck up there. My first bow buck, the 8.
Mhm.
I want to know what he scores now. Yeah, I never scored him.
We're
We'll
going to
do
get in a
that.
pissing contest
no,
here on the.
No, just curiosity.
Yeah, it's just
curiosity.
curiosity because it's like I
I was
at
60,
Him,
you were 35. He goes, let's go measure
No,
the
no, no,
deer.
no.
His was the biggest of the
No,
three
I'm
first
not-
bow
I'm not
bucks.
saying
Yeah,
that.
It
just-
absolutely
when he
was.
brings up the Pope
probably
and Young,
115.
but that's what
110,
I was
115.
thinking. I was thinking he could be 120.
Easily the nicest first buck.
Absolutely, yeah.
First bow
Yeah.
buck for
It's bigger than one of Papa's mounts downstairs in the
Right,
basement.
yeah,
Is
from the
that-
70s, yeah.
yeah. It just came to my mind. I can see it, so I was just thinking that.
Well, and you were talking about being blessed. I mean, we really are in
Yeah.
the Midwest,
Yeah.
in Illinois, in Southern Illinois. We are blessed because 125 inches, we pass that deer now.
Oh, yeah.
I shouldn't have let you guys pass them when you were teenagers, but now we pass those
Mm-hmm.
deer because we know what they have the potential to become.
and it depends on our area too. Both our areas that aren't necessarily extremely pressured. They could be much more pressured than
Absolutely.
what we have.
Yeah.
So like they are pressured, don't get me wrong, but since we kind of know both our two main spots, that other one's a little bit newer, we haven't really 100% figured out. But since our two main spots, we kind of have an idea of what's going on around us, so we can kind of look and go, okay, yeah, he's not on the list at all.
Yeah.
And see what they turn into.
Well, and I mean, in this area, yeah, and this is not every deer is going to be 180 inches.
No.
Some of them, like Johnny, are going to be 145, and
Well,
that's all they're ever going to be.
And that's where me and him can go back and forth. A good, mature 8-pointer, I will always take every day of the
Yeah,
week.
absolutely.
And sometimes
Well-
our disconnect, let him grow. It's not always going to grow like
I
that.
get that, and we're gonna get into my story as to why, because I used to be I'll age him from the rack.
No,
No.
Well,
can't do that.
I know, and I
Yep.
know, and I learned obviously 6 years ago. I learned, and we'll get into that in this episode. But ever since that buck, I have completely stopped looking at the rack when it comes to aging. And you kind of age it like cattle. That's how I kind of.
Mm-hmm. That's a good analogy.
But it's just ever since that buck, like, yeah, he's a great buck. I mean, he's my biggest buck, but we'll get into why
We still got one to talk about.
I know,
before that.
I know,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm saying, we'll get to it.
So pen cushions on the ground. We got 3 bucks on
October
the ground,
27th.
and it's October 27th.
Yep.
Yeah.
3 days
October
after the
3rd, October 24th, October 27th. We've got bucks on the ground.
Yep.
What a great start. Never had that before. Never had it since then.
Nope. I don't know if we ever will. I don't think we'll ever.
$5.
I don't think we'll ever tag out. All
You don't
this.
know.
Eh,
I don't know. I won't
see.
say never.
we'll
I
see.
won't say never.
Yeah.
Because I think we're getting better every year.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to think. I had a shot. You had a shot. And
I mean, if I don't miss Timmy, we do all tag out.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I hadn't
That's a
thought
good
about that.
point.
Yeah, we all would have tagged
But-
out that year.
But I was meaning this year. Like I had opportunities for does, and we just Sunday night does
I'm
is
just,
what it
I'm
was.
just thinking bucks
Yeah.
because
You know,
I'm pretty sure you can get more than.
you can get
Yeah,
you can get
you
any
can-
combination
yeah.
of two.
Yeah.
With bucks, but I mean,
Yeah.
you can get as many does as you want to buy tags
Pretty
for.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, what I was saying is we had plenty of opportunity this
Mm-hmm.
year, and it doesn't get too far fetched.
And I've said before, getting them in range is only half the battle.
Yeah.
Getting them within bow range is just halfway there. It is everything that can happen once they get within your range that can happen positive or negative. They take a step this way. They get behind a branch that way. You have snow
how
on your
many-
reticle. It's fogged
How-
up. Whatever you want to talk about. Your arrow comes off the rest. Shit happens with bow hunting.
How many opportunities have I had with a bow in my hand that didn't go right, and I have one bow kill?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
Yep,
they got
same.
into range,
It's
and then they would
tough.
go the one place I
Well, I'll
don't
do
want
you
them to-
one better here in just a few minutes because this one's insane. I don't know. This one's
Would you-
All right, so
my
pin
mind.
cushion is in the freezer. He is not on the wall. I'll include a picture of pin cushion so they have some reference. He ate well.
Yeah,
He did.
That was a Wangler buck.
Oof. I wasn't going to make that joke.
No, that's we you know what? And this I didn't tell you guys this. Audra and David. Okay, we talked about Gary Wangler and the guys that Dad Leroy used to hunt with in Johnson County. Audra and David, it's spring break right now as we record this. You guys are both off of work. Audra is a school teacher. Audra and David went to Florida this week for spring break. She messaged me Saturday morning. They were catching up on the podcast. They were listening to our podcast when we were talking about those guys that went to Johnson County hunting as they drove through Johnson County Saturday
That's
morning.
cool.
that's cool.
That's freaking
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yes. But we used to give Gary grief because Gary is a mountain of a man. He is a big old boy, and he used to be bigger even now than he is now. He would kill the smallest deer, and he would throw it over his shoulder like it was a dog.
potatoes.
Yes, and walk out of the woods, gun over this shoulder, deer over this shoulder.
Potato.
And we used to give him grief all the time because that was a Wangler-sized deer. So Pincushion was a Wangler-sized deer, but
Yes,
he
it
ate
was.
well. But that was not even close to the end of the season. That was just
No.
the bow portion of the season. So we get
Well,
to
kinda, because it was October 27th. We
Yeah, we
still
had 2
hunted
weeks, yeah,
really
yeah.
hard.
Oh, well, that brings me to a little.
Mm.
That brings me to a little story of me.
oh crap, that's right, Tex.
No,
right?
Tex. It
big
was,
country.
Oh, is that what we call?
then
We're
that's-
thinking of the same story.
Then there's 2 stories.
Well, get after it.
All right, let's
patter.
go.
I can't remember the
Get
exact
after it.
day. I can't remember the exact
No.
day. It was shotguns. It was before shotgun season,
Yeah.
and I can't remember even which one happened first. But
I don't remember Tex. I remember Big Country because
It was Big Country. It wasn't
me
Yeah.
and
Tex.
Cat.
Yeah.
Me and Cat almost
So
got a shot
since we're
too.
on that topic, we'll go ahead and do Big Country, and I need a sip because it was very
Emotional.
emotional,
Traumatic.
But, no, I wouldn't even say traumatic. It was just it was a learning moment for sure. But I was hunting that same spot.
This little 5-acre woods,
honey hole.
yeah, was really good. It's amazing how you can screw that up when you go in with a bulldozer and a chainsaw. Just gonna leave that alone.
Anyway, and I was hunting that spot, and it was slow for me, like very very slow, and it was creeping up on. It was probably right after Pincushion because it wasn't
wouldn't have been
early.
too long.
Yeah, a week or two later,
so
maybe.
last week. I mean, I
At
don't even
the
know if it
most.
was in November. It may have been in November, but I get this message. I'm like, hey, I think it was one of you. They were like, you need to make a move behind you.
You were
You were
sitting-
hunting, right?
Yes, I was on. Where was I? Because I was hunting. Crap. I don't remember
been 6 years.
Well, I don't remember my portion of this story because it's nothing, but I was in the woods with you.
Yeah.
And I think
And you saw.
I saw him. I was in the south. You were in the north.
Yeah.
And I had saw him cross the field over to where everything will, go down.
Well,
which is basically a dry pond in the middle of a field.
Yeah. And
he was just angling towards.
Well, and I don't know if it was slow for you, but I think
It was extremely slow.
I think if I remember correctly, you messaged and said, "Yo, how was your sit going?" And I'm like, nothing. And you go, "You need to make a move on this buck right now. He is here. I just saw him out of the stand. He's probably chasing does. What I think is what you said with the way he was moving." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Let me look at the map or whatever." And I went down the field, just kind of stayed low in the low spots and stuff, and then I made a direct beeline to the east side of this pond because I think I had
You had a good wind.
I had a good wind.
And that's
It
why
Wind was out of the west, and this
it was
pond
a southwest west wind
is
somewhere in there.
150 yards from the nearest woods.
Yeah, it's out
the
in the-
nearest trees.
It's out in the middle of nothing, and so I made my way down the low spots to get directly north of him that we had an idea of, and then I made a beeline to the east part, and as I got closer, I got lower, and then at some point I got on my belly, like I was
You were
prone.
prone, yeah.
Because I
on
had
the
your,
ground.
I think I had your crossbow
You did,
because
yeah.
you tagged out, of
Yep.
course. Whatever. And I got up a little bit to kind of see over the brush into the dry pond, and then next thing you know, you hear a bunch of noise, like just a bunch of running, bunch of crashing and stuff. So I do half a burpee and I get on my belly as fast as I can. I had a doe. One of the does in there jumped out. I can't express you enough. From me to Jamie away.
Really?
She didn't see me because she was getting chased.
Yeah.
And then took off around the dry pond. And I'm like, well, that was crazy. They jump out of nowhere. And then since I was on that east side, I could see past the dry pond, and he had jumped the fence row south of me.
To the south, yeah.
And head was down. I mean, just losing it. And his head was straight down to the ground on a beeline toward me. I was north of him. He was south of me.
You had the wind.
And I had the wind, and he was on a beeline with his head in the ground. And I'm like, holy cow. Like, that's crazy. Like, I've heard deer grunt, mainly was younger bucks, not a 160-inch 10-pointer.
Yeah, this was beautiful. We called him Tex.
No.
The big country.
Sorry. There's been so many.
No, this guy
Big
was
Country was a
memorable.
big, wide,
He's a-
clean 10-pointer.
and was old.
Yeah.
And was old.
Yep.
And it'll always be in my brain. I'm like, I haven't had an experience like this since. Any hunt has been.
And there's a
crazy.
difference in having that experience on the ground compared, and you've had a couple of good ones on the ground compared to in a tree stand. And that was one that you'll always remember.
And I was as still as a stone watching this dude come in. And since I was prone, I had already had the crossbow up. He ended up veering a little bit west, and he went to the back side of the pond. And I'm like, crap, I don't know where he went.
And pond with 10 yards of
And the problem is
brush and trees around it. Yeah.
It wasn't just that one doe in there either. There was still scampering going on the inside. And I'm like, how many eyes are there?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, last time I knew he was on the south side of this pond. I'm going to work my way all the way around. So I halfway army crawled, halfway crouch crawl, or, and I wrapped around the west side, and there were these weeds that were probably somewhere as tall as me, but most of them, the thick stuff was
3'7".
Most of it was crouch. I could get behind it by crouching, and I hadn't heard anything in a while, and so I wrapped around. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stand up and check this field. If I would have seen his tines prior to me standing up, I don't know if I would say that he would be dead, but I would have had a shot.
But that's one of those deals where getting him in bow range, crossbow range, vertical bow is only half the battle.
I stood up, and this 160-inch 10-pointer 10 yards away was staring directly at me, moving, like standing up. So I was moving, and he could see where I was. And
it's almost a jump scare.
And it was. It was. And since I had the wind, he still had no idea. Like, they rely more on their scent than they do their eyesight, which is crazy to me. Like,
well, there's always a hesitation when they see. They kind of confirm, what am I looking at? And there's a hesitation there.
And so, like, I was standing up. I wasn't fully stood up yet, but I finally saw his mask, and I'm like, oh crap, it's done. Like, he's staring right at me. I'm 10 yards away from this dude. He knows where I'm at. I finally know where he's at. And so I just kind of stop moving, and he's just staring at me. And he probably stared at me for 15, 20 seconds.
Was he facing straight at you?
He was a pretty good, it was pretty hard of a quarter two.
Did you have the bow up?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Because I didn't know.
This is where I go to Leroy, because, the meme. So I started blasting. That's where Leroy would have been pumping one in there, even with a crossbow.
Especially with your crossbow.
Yeah.
That's a learning.
The thing with me was there were weeds between me and him.
Okay.
It wasn't clear.
Okay.
So that's why.
So you're in like chest high.
I got above the thick crap.
Weeds, and
again 3 feet tall.
I had
a
knee high
shot.
I got above the thick crap, and it was too late at that point.
Yeah.
Stared at me for 15, 20 seconds, and then he kind of...
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was that long.
He kind of ran off down the waterway, the low spot. But he didn't get, quote, out of range, especially with a crossbow. He was about 45, 50 yards.
That's out of range.
It was out of range for me at the time. Yeah. With a crossbow, like if you're
So anyway, I started blasting.
Yeah. Well, no.
when my little PSE bow was shooting 55.
I got the bow up, and I got the right reticle this time, or the right line on him, and he was still kind of quarter in two to me, so it wasn't perfect, but
good decision not to take that shot.
But he ended up. He realized, like, okay, this is not cool. He got out of the area, and that was one of the most fun experiences, the most emotional experiences, because once everything is actually said and done, your body breaks down, and you know about that.
Yeah.
And I just kind of went weak, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. That adrenaline rush,
but
man. That's why we do it. That adrenaline rush, easily. You can't.
I will never forget seeing a 160-inch mature, like old 10-pointer.
Hey, Coach Kelly, quit banging on the table.
At 10 yards.
Try 230.
Yeah. That's another episode, probably. But that was the craziest experience ever. And when I got out of that it just doesn't, not necessarily a full lesson, but like, I don't think I made a mistake. The only mistake I probably could have made was I wasn't wide enough. I didn't get like an angle. I was in the weeds, but I wanted to use the weeds to my advantage to get close enough. Well, I didn't realize I was 10 yards close enough.
I'd say the only mistake that you made was not having that bow up. But if you'd have had the bow up, even looking at you for 15 seconds, and that's the 9-pointer we talked about in part one of this.
But that's shooting through the weeds.
Yeah, that is true too.
That's because you're vertically challenged.
Yeah.
So
we don't want to hear about it.
So,
but that was a great experience. It's one you will never forget. I've got several from the point I was a teenager on that did not work out the way I hoped that would. I will never forget, and that was one that you will remember 30 years from now.
We could talk about Mr. Bucket real quick. This is not nearly as long. Mr. Bucket was probably...
hey, I've got a big country story, too. You want to switch, or you want to come back to him?
Let's stay with big country.
So my experience with him in a stand, because we had watched him. We wanted this guy. He was part of the big three there. But Cat hunted during COVID. I loved it, man. It was freaking awesome. I could hunt anytime I wanted. Days she didn't want to go, she'd kick me out of the house. Days she wanted to go, I'd drag her along with me. It was awesome. Every husband's dream. So we're sitting there, and that stand that we were talking about earlier was a 2-man stand.
Good stand.
A great stand. Just a great stand. Well, I mean, I killed 2 deer out of it.
That year.
And we had this experience in that stand. I got to see a ton of cool things, like a doe bleeding out.
And
of
you
that
could
stand.
see it off the road.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could totally see us in the stand.
Yep.
But it was a fantastic stand. And it was about a week before shotgun season, so things are full-blown rut.
Yep.
And I took her out. She brought her bow. I brought my bow. She
Took
brought
your
the
wife
crossbow.
cat out, not, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't know what that
Took
meant.
her out.
Oh, my wife. Yeah, I said that. So I'm watching this buck across the road down the fence row. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to get this guy in range. You know, like he's looking. I'm going to get him in range and you're going to get your first deer. And, you know, she's like, oh, okay. You know, you just sit there for a minute. And I rattle at this deer. And he snaps his head and looks at us, and here he comes. And I'm like, holy crap, I'm going to get her a deer. And he gets about halfway across the field and spots some does back off to the east of us. And there he goes. You know, and I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
That sucks. And about 30 seconds later, here comes Big Country up that west fence row.
He'd heard it too.
And he had heard it. And I'm like, oh crap. I go,
let me get my bow.
I go, I'm going to rattle.
That's not yours, cat. I got this one.
I go, I'm going to rattle and you're going to stay there. I go, that one's mine. And she goes, no, it's not. I go, yes, it is. Shh. I'm going to rattle him in. This one's mine. And she's like, but I want a deer. And I go, well, that's too bad.
That's an old enough deer that your arrow won't pierce his side.
She had the crossbow.
Oh, well, that wouldn't have worked.
No. I was like, there's no shot that I've hunted for years. And you're going to kill a 160-inch deer.
You're going to watch your wife
your
shoot
first time out. Oh, my God. I'd be so mad. Anyway, by the way, neither one of us got a shot.
Yeah.
But I hit the tines just a little bit more, just a little softer. And here he comes and crosses the road. And I'm like, oh, my God, we're going to get a shot. There's no way. I'm not mentally prepared for this.
This might happen.
This just got real. And we have had a ditch that ran to our west where they crossed a lot. And here he came right to that ditch. And I'm like, if he crosses that ditch and comes up the crossing,
20-yard shot.
I need him to, it's going to be broadside at 20 yards.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to have a booner on the ground because we had fixed my bow. And
Same deer that you killed, pincushion out of.
yeah, the same stand. And he hit that creek and ran back to the north. And I had, I think, a southwest wind. And when he hit that crossing, he went to my northeast.
Oh.
And I go,
Took that holler back to the northeast.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Makes sense.
And I was like, no. And I lost him. He just disappeared into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
But, it was just so close to being perfect. And he just took the next crossing to come out of that creek. And I plopped down in the stand. And she's like, you really weren't going to let me kill that deer, were you? And I was like, no, I wasn't.
There's that adrenaline dump once it's all over. Yeah.
I was like, no, that was my deer.
And we never really saw that deer again.
Yeah, Jaden has a way of doing that.
Okay. So that was Big Country. We didn't get Big Country on the ground.
Mr. Bucket,
Mm-hmm.
same stand as this guy.
Mhm.
He saw Big Country out of. He killed 2 deer out of. It was probably late October, early November. So I probably had these 2 hunts days between. I don't know which happened first, but it was close. I was hunting in the morning. I hunt in the morning sometimes.
In November.
Well, yeah,
And
October morning hunts normally aren't worth
it was slow. I remember why, because I don't think I've ever told you guys this.
Uh-oh.
I was looking at my phone.
That happens.
Oh, yeah, it's just like peeing in a stand. You're bound to see a deer.
I was looking at my phone. Who knows? TikTok, Twitter, whatever.
Probably not TikTok in 2020.
I had
No,
TikTok in
yeah.
2020.
Was that around? I was a late adopter.
Yeah, you were.
and
It blew up.
he blows our phone ups now.
Sending TikToks.
Phone ups.
Yeah,
I
he
just
blows
skipped
our
over.
phones
He's
up.
illiterate.
Anyway, I hear a noise. I'm like, oh, cool. It's finally maybe something, a deer. It could be a squirrel. I look up. There he is.
There, who is?
Bucket.
Who's Bucket?
Who's
Mr.
Bucket?
Mr. Bucket.
I don't remember Bucket.
I don't remember.
I
Bucket.
will. I remember
Tex,
this.
Junior,
I remember.
Fubar,
I remember sending
Three.
the message.
3,
I-
Junior.
Yeah, we got 3, and we'll get to there. But I remember sending the message, and I was like, his rack looked like a bucket. Like, he was a little bit wider than his ears, but he was tall. Very
I don't
tall.
remember
I don't
that.
remember this.
name.
It's a fever dream.
It's not. I will send a trail cam picture of him.
Okay.
We didn't get him till January after the season again. This is the only time we ever saw him, camera or eyes. He was 25 yards, probably crossed the same trail over the creek.
Because you had your nose in your phone, you weren't
I
ready.
had my nose in my phone, wasn't ready. Crossbow was on the tree, and I just watched him.
Yep, that
And
happens.
he was eating. And I ended up getting the crossbow off the tree, but he threw his head up and then just skirted me. He ended up going straight north from where he was, and then kind of angled his way east
In that holler.
in that holler.
They run
And-
that holler like crazy.
And you guys were like, "What do you mean a bucket?" Blah, blah, blah. I'll have to go way back, and go find that video of him.
Yeah, I
We
wanna see that.
finally got him. I think it was late January. It may have been during season, but it was in January in that same holler. And I'm like, boom, there he is, finally. And I'm like, I'm not crazy.
Apparently he wasn't that big, or I wouldn't have remembered him.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, big nuts.
All
You
right.
think you are?
All right, let's fast forward. It is shotgun season.
Well,
Okay.
I'm going to go a week before.
Okay. All right. I know. All
Yep.
right. Yep.
So at the time, I was a server, and I typically worked Saturday and Sunday. If it wasn't during football season, I worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Sunday afternoon, my boss goes, "Hey, we're dead. You want to go home?" And I'm like, "Heck yeah. It's Sunday before shotgun season."
It's a magic.
Technical difficulties.
We need batteries.
I thought it said 28 hours.
Well, it had
Bars.
two. Go get 2 AA's.
We'll be right back after this message.
All right. We're back to recording.
Yep.
All right. So, technical difficulties.
Tactical?
Tactical?
Yeah, it's what you said.
Technical.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
I had been told I could go home, and Sunday before shotgun season is a family holiday.
There have been many magical moments on
Yes.
the Sunday before shotgun season.
and I had been waiting for mine.
Mhm.
Papa, I hear the stories. Sunday before shotgun, you better be in a stand.
Best bow day of the year. for
Rain,
us.
sun,
Yep.
snow, you get in a stand.
Yep.
And I flew home. I'm talking like 90 miles an hour down Park Street.
Not actually.
Allegedly.
Of course not, because that would be illegal.
Allegedly.
We wouldn't do that.
Mm-mm.
No.
No,
Never. So, because she told me I could go at like 2:00, which meant I needed to move because
You might say you're.
oh boy. Yeah, I was. And I run home, I shower. I'm like, I'm hitting, the wind's not great for this spot. I'm going to cross the creek and get under this big oak and watch, the holler, which is straight to the east of the root ball that we've talked about.
Mhm.
And I'm sitting at the base of this oak tree, and within 10 minutes of my rear end being on that ground, here comes this buck. And he was to my north about 100 yards. He's moving, running west to east, and I hit the grunt, and here he comes. He turns on a beeline, hops the fence, and I'm like, oh, crap. Okay, this is real. And because it was such a quick turnaround and I didn't want to mess around, I did have my crossbow with me that day. And I get turned. I said I used it some.
You were just roasted me for using one.
Yeah, well, I didn't kill a deer with it.
You're also, at that point, 20 years old.
It's legal. So I left the dark side. I came back.
You did.
So I get on my knee with the tree between me and him, and he's going to come up over this hill, and I've got a nice shooting lane right here that's natural. I'd never sat at the base of this tree. I don't know if you guys had. And I'm like, holy cow, this is happening fast. This is going to be one of those stories. And I can still hear him, but I can't see him. I've got my rangefinder right here, and I range the tree at 19 yards, and I put it back down, and I'm like, perfect. This deer is dead.
Never think that.
I didn't laugh. So here he comes up the hill. I've got the crossbow up. I'm braced up against the tree. And here he comes right into that shooting lane. And
how'd you mess this up?
I didn't. I did not mess this up.
I don't even think I've heard this.
No, I don't either, yeah.
Listen. As he's walking into the shooting lane, I've got the crossbow up, and I am following him with the crosshairs on his chest. And there is one little tree that he needed to clear, and he stopped with his shoulder on that tree.
Okay.
And froze. I have the wind. I'm not moving. I'm barely breathing. I'm serious. I was locked in. Big, deep breaths.
I don't know that I knew this story.
I don't think I did. I never knew this happened.
Was it on the hill?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was on the east.
Yeah,
hill. It wasn't. It was opposite of the root ball.
Yep,
I do.
So you were facing west.
Is this the deer
No, I
you
was
killed?
facing east. This is the deer I kill.
Okay, I do remember it now.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did know this. Yeah.
After about sitting there for a full minute, still as stone, as you said.
Yep.
I've never heard that before, but let's use it. He walks backwards in his tracks.
I've had a couple of really good bucks do that before. This guy did that. Yeah. I've had bucks that size, 190 inches, walk in, they get to that edge of that shooting lane, and it's like they just sense it.
They just know.
They just stop. Then they back right back up.
I will admit when I do something wrong, I couldn't have been more perfect.
You can't make him take one extra step.
He started backing up, and he turned and ran back to the north, and I sprinted up the hill to try to get an angle down on him, and he was gone.
Wind had to have swirled or something like that.
It is funnel.
It wasn't me, and that made me feel good because that was a heck of an adrenaline rush.
And that's something that we've learned over, the last few years is, hey, sometimes that wind just swirls enough that they get a little bit of a scent and they go, yeah, I don't like it. I know that the way I came is safe. I'm going to back right out of here. So I had forgotten that. Yes.
So that was Sunday before shotgun season, that fired me up. I was like, okay, we're back. It was time.
Well, and before we get to shotgun season, I had the camera. I would go in the stand with the camera. I would go and sit in the woods on a chair with the camera. I took a lot of pictures. I would drive around with the camera. I got some really good pictures of that buck the week before you killed him.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
In multiple different spots.
And we didn't know at the time. We found out later there were other people that were hunting that buck specifically. Yeah.
Yep.
And a half mile away?
Coffees.
That's right. Half mile away. Is where I saw him.
He has an OSNG shirt, don't he?
He does.
Yes, and you're going to have to
put that in here.
You'll have to put that in there with his turkey.
He killed a turkey this weekend with his OSNG shirt on, yeah.
Colton Coffee.
Well, he took a picture with the OSNG shirt, yes.
Colton Coffee, I promised you if you killed a deer with our OSNG shirt, we would put it on the wall. We will put your picture with your T-shirt and your turkey in the podcast.
Which, if you haven't, you probably have noticed. I didn't want to go the full. I didn't want to go the full 3 with the new merch.
We not gonna say the thing later tonight.
No.
Okay,
You just relax. This is my story.
So I got a new shirt.
We'll talk about it in a little bit. So
Have another one, Boozy.
I'm good.
So
I'm grand.
we get to shotgun season, and this was highly anticipated. We had 3 deer on the ground.
Yep.
It was shotgun season.
I mean, at
and
this point, we're thinking it's inevitable.
we're going to get something.
Yeah.
And I was fired up. Now, Leroy's rules of shotgun season.
Mm-hmm.
Get in 30 minutes before you normally would, because that's when everyone else is going to walk in.
Yeah.
So which, by the way,
Let them push them to you.
this walk was nothing. Okay.
It's the same stand.
It's the same stand. You walk
Did-
75
You
yards
walk
down a road.
Yeah, I was about to say you walk 75 yards down a road
Well,
and then 50 into.
Let me
the
ask you
woods.
this, because again, it's been 6 years. Did I drop you off at the road or at the
Nope.
house?
Nope. You made me walk.
From the house. Okay. Because I sat literally on the porch of an abandoned house 100 yards from your stand. That's where I sat in a lawn chair with my camera. You guys are both shotgun hunting in this 5-acre woods. I'm sitting on the porch of this house.
Yeah. No, we all left from the house because we didn't want to change anything. We didn't want to close a car door right where
Yeah.
I was getting out because it was such a short walk. It was literally 75 yards down a road, take a left, and you walk 50 yards to your stand. Is as easy as getting in and out as possible.
Yeah.
So we're in early, and 6:47 on opening day morning, the woods. No, 6:47. You're not doing it right, old man. Okay, 6:47. The woods explodes, and we knew that the neighbor was hunting. They always hunt. Didn't know where they were, and they were roughly 100 to 150 yards away. So
In a box blind.
at 6:47, when you shake the woods,
And by shake the woods, you mean their gun shook the woods.
yes, about 3 rounds, and I'm like, that means nothing. It could be anything.
No, 3 rounds means something. One
whiz.
one round is, oh no.
Mhm.
2 rounds is, oh. 3 rounds is, you better get your gun.
Well, I knew that it didn't mean that there was a good deer. I just knew
True.
that they were
That- yeah.
missing, which
Happens a lot.
anyway,
Happened a lot.
yeah. So I
Just-
start paying attention.
Just saying.
Their property is a giant cut cornfield, and here comes a group of does coming from where they had shot, and I'm like, cool, all right. And then following them is a fantastic frame, and I'm like, oh, there's a shooter.
Mhm.
Oh, there's a shooter. Okay, relax. You've done this before. You've done this before. You've got a good deer coming in.
But have you?
No, no, I haven't. I've watched good deer come in, but I've never done what I did that day. And I had bought a brand new Savage 220 before the season.
Great gun.
Good
Yep, fantastic gun. I wanted to be able to shoot anything I wanted to, and I'm holding it in my hand, in my lap, in my hands. I was so excited to be able to take it out, and I'm watching this deer, and these does start to circle back to my north, and I'm like, oh, come on. Like, and I say that they start to do this. This all happens within 25 to 30 seconds from the time I see them to the time I pull the trigger. So here they come, and I'm like, okay, that's a shooter, definite shooter. And then they start to go back to my north, and I'm like, oh, crap, I don't like that. And for some miraculous reason, the buck jumps the fence and stands at 30 yards broadside. He had tried to, keep them in his eyesight rather than just chase after them. He hopped into it. It's very open where he hopped into, and he stood there, and I was ready because he was coming right towards me. I was like, it might be running. I don't know what it's going to be. Get ready. And I freaking hammer him.
And my favorite part of the story.
He lurches forward, and he takes off running and smacks right into the fence, knocks himself to the ground. And Leroy, The first thing you do after you pull the trigger is you reload and shoot again.
Yep.
Okay. I did not shoot again.
Put another one in him.
I did not shoot again because as I am ejecting my shell, he runs under my stand and I can see the entrance wound with my own eyes. And I just stop and hang the gun up on the wall as he crosses that creek. And
He barely crosses a creek, don't he?
well,
Yeah.
I black out. I do not remember anything after seeing him.
Yeah, he died within 10 yards of that creek.
Because that's not true. I remember you saying, do not get down.
No, I didn't want you. Yeah, if he wasn't dead, I didn't want you to move him.
That's the only thing until we're walking. You came and got me.
Yeah.
And we walked back up the road. And of course, I'm looking because I know where he went. You just came to the stand. And I'm looking. I go, there he is. He's right there. I can see him from the road. And he's like, just relax. I'm like, he's right freaking there, though. He's dead. And he's like, we're going to give him a little bit. And of course, I'm throwing like a toddler tantrum. I am losing my mind because that deer is on the ground. I know why. Explain why.
Well, I shot a deer one time. He dropped right there for 30 minutes. I sat in my stand waiting on that deer, getting plenty of time, got down out of my stand, walked up within 15 yards, and that son of a gun jumped up and ran off.
He ran to the next county.
He ran across the Little Muddy into a standing cornfield, never found that deer. He was, I don't know, knocked out, just chilling. What he did for 30 minutes, he laid there and didn't move.
That kind of hurt. I'm gonna take a nap.
And when I walked up within 15 yards, that son of a gun jumped up and took off. And I didn't have my gun ready. I've got it over my shoulder going,
oh, no way.
what?
Well,
So yeah,
I knew
you
what
live
he
and
was-
you learn.
I knew what he was saying, but he didn't see what I saw. And I will never forget that. That was so cool. Because I'm telling you, I couldn't have shot him. He ran so close under my stand. And we meet back and we hang out up at the car, and I'm bouncing around like a little kid. I'm like, can we go? Can we go? Can we go? Can we go?
Give him some time.
And we were able to walk up on that deer, and I was so happy because I had not killed a mature deer yet. And
This is a good deer.
This was a good mature deer.
And he'd broken a little bit off from the
He
time
broke
I
the,
took the picture of him a week before till you killed him.
he broke the little crab.
Yeah, he broke about 10 inches off worth of crab.
Yeah.
I think he scored 138 with the 10 because he's
He'd have been
symmetrical in the
mid to
pictures.
upper 140s.
Yep. I mean, I was doing backflips. I could not. I was breathing hard and wheezing. I know I was.
You always wheeze.
I was absolutely
He was wheezing earlier.
thriving. And I mean, my shotgun season lasted 18 minutes.
Yeah, it was early.
It was within 20 minutes of shooting light, but I would not have done anything different.
Yep.
I love that deer. Shout out Preston Launis for hanging it in my room last winter. That's when I got it back.
Yeah, it took like 5 years.
Hey,
I
it
hear
was
you
great.
there.
It is great taxidermy.
It is, yeah.
Um,
Did a good job on it. Just took a while.
But because of that, unfortunately, I wasn't hunting the next morning, and I was really tired, and I didn't hear my phone.
Go ahead.
Well, the next morning, I had killed 2 bucks with the bow.
Did you see the light bulb
Yeah, yes.
flick over his head?
Oh,
Wait, that's me.
I had killed 2 bucks, but I had a shotgun tag. Okay. I mean, at this point, we have 4 bucks, so it's not like we needed the meat, but I could go. So I go, sitting in the stand that you killed out of. What? I took my gun that morning. That was the only time that I hunted all year after the freak. That was the only time that I took a weapon into the woods.
Which I guess you did have. You could have gotten a doe that morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sitting there. The math wasn't mathing.
Yeah. No, I
had
killed. Yeah. I had a shotgun tag, so I could have killed a doe if I wanted to. So I went into the stand that you were in, that you had killed the pincushion and your buck out of.
What do you name him? What'd you name
You
him?
know, I don't think we ever named him,
Mr.
did we?
Krabs.
Mr. Krabs.
Oh, okay.
Even though he broke the crab off.
Are you feeling it now, Mr.
Mr. Krabs. So, and I was thinking about this before we recorded tonight. I went to that stand, and it was raining that morning. It was very quiet. It was
Yeah.
light rain that morning.
It's like a mist.
Yep. Why did you hunted off the ground about 75 yards away?
You made him.
What was the thinking there? I couldn't remember.
You told me to sit a little bit further north, not quite as far as the root ball, but you wanted me on that.
There's a ridge that runs
Well,
there.
there's two ridges, and you wanted me hunting that low spot because I forget the wind.
It was a pinch point, and
Yeah.
we had seen a lot
Okay.
of deer go through. You made me hunt
We
it
had
with a
a
bow
camera
too.
that-
Well,
we
it's a
had a camera
great
there.
spot. It is a great spot. Off of
It's not there anymore.
They took that tree down. Off of that road we've talked about, there was a ridge where there was a holler that ran north and south, and there was a ridge that ran off of the road into the woods about 50 yards, and there was a huge oak tree. I mean, like 8 feet around, huge oak tree, where that ridge fell off into that holler, and that's where I told you to get that morning, but I couldn't remember exactly why.
I don't know if it was because it was a location that we necessarily didn't hunt.
Well, that's one.
Because
we
it would
didn't
be-
hunt that
because
area
we
because
either
with a
hunted the
bow, you would be too far away from that holler, really.
Because we either hunted that root ball or we hunted that 2-man.
Yeah.
It was on the north side or the south side. We
With,
didn't
with a
hunt the
with a
middle.
bow, you'd really be 30 to 40 yards away from where most of the traffic was in that holler. So I had you get on
I
the
think
ground there.
Just something different.
I got into the 2-man stand to the south there, about 75 yards away, and it was a quiet, slow morning, not a lot going on.
Well,
And I'm sitting there just kind of chilling.
can you let me get the
Hadn't
lead
seen
up?
anything.
The lead up of it?
You were asleep.
I know.
What lead up?
Yeah.
And then I almost fell out of the tree.
Yeah. Well, so easy walk in. I mean, it's a 5-acre property. You're not gonna have to walk too far anywhere from any direction. And I think I hunted that week. I think I hunted morning and evening. I probably every
Hit it
time.
hard, yeah.
And I haven't hunted a week that hard since because I don't have time to. But I think
Responsibilities.
adulting.
Overrated.
Boo! All right. I just think it caught up to me because it was a slow morning, and it wasn't necessarily. It wasn't first light. It wasn't early, but it wasn't first light. Like it was probably. I think it was like 7:15 in the morning. But nothing was going on. It was dead. I don't even know if we hardly heard any shots.
No.
And it was a misty morning. I took a chair and I sat at this oak tree, and I slumbered. I mean, I fell forward. And
Do you see the theme? Once again, he was asleep in the morning.
He ain't ever worked a day in his life.
Yoke.
He's got soft hands.
Nah, I ain't gonna say that now.
12,
I will.
12 hours today.
Yeah,
Anyway.
he worked pretty hard today, even.
And I fell forward and just, and I heard like something snap. I heard something like a twig snap, like not directly behind me, but close. And I'm like, uh-oh. I just kind of barely move, and I see this doe, and I'm like, oh, hi.
How far?
25 yards, maybe. Maybe.
Maybe. On the
we,
ground.
we know
On
that
the
you're
ground.
not great with your
We
distances.
don't go there. And I was like, cool, finally, something. And on the same trail behind her, here comes this buck. Great frame. I'm like, oh. And then I see his little stickers off of each G2. I'm like, oh, hello. and
we had at that point
3.
3 different deer.
and I still am not convinced there were 3.
You can be wrong.
It's a possibility. I still think there might have been 2.
And that's fine. But
Everyone's entitled to their wrong opinions.
We had
It's fine.
gotten 2 deer on camera throughout the year, like in summer, like
Had
July.
identical stickers off the
They,
G2.
they were identical mainframe 10 pointers with 2 kickers off each side. Just one was probably 170 and one was 150.
Mhm.
And,
152 to be exact.
Yeah, 152. And
It's a hell of a 2-year-old.
Oof.
why would you? I was leading up to that.
Hey, what do we
And-
say about young deer being dumb?
And I saw the kickers. I'm like, okay, it's one of the two. I mean, we obviously know we're going after both of them. And he got directly west of me. I don't remember the wind. I would assume it'd be somewhat north. It wasn't northeast for sure. Probably northwest.
Northwest.
What?
Northwest.
Okay.
Just
And
coming down that holler.
they got directly west of me, and I'm like, I can't do anything. I'm on the ground. They're too close.
Which directly west is behind you, between
Behind
you
the
and the road.
tree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And up a little bit of a hill.
Yeah.
and
Bad spot.
The worst possible spot.
Yes, for that spot. Yeah.
and
I've never seen something more blue collar in my life.
you ain't worked a day in your life, boy. And I was like, well, I can't do anything. Like they're directly west of me. That's the road too. Like I can't
Yes,
shoot
yeah.
towards the road.
Yep.
And I just kind of sat there, and a couple minutes later, the doe ends up walking a little bit further. Walks a little bit north back down the trail they came from, and he, 2-year-old, got a woman with him. He's gonna follow the woman. The woman went north, and so did she, and he ended up 15, 20 yards and gave me an opening, and he was away from the road, and I put my scope up. We said it was misty. It was a little bit foggy too. It was misty, foggy, nasty morning.
You guys have bad problems with scopes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
put
right.
I put the scope up, and I can't see.
And they're not bad scopes.
I mean, I can't see diddly out of it. Fog. Nothing but fog. And I'm like, oh, great. and I thought in a split second, this is happening quickly, but I remember everything about it. I was like, there's a gap between the barrel and, the scope.
Look down that barrel.
And he's 15, 20 yards away. It's not a far shot. Screw it.
Yep.
I'm going to do it.
Iron
Shake-
sights are the best sights, baby.
I shake the entire
Word.
woods.
Yep.
And
Yeah, you did, because I about fell out of my tree.
and he falls immediately. Doesn't go anywhere. Doesn't take a step. He falls. His ear flickers, and I go, "Oh no!" I just spine shot him. I didn't use the scope. I spine shot him. I'm freaking out, and I hadn't looked at my phone yet. He's already blowing my phone up. He's like, "What's going on?"
And well, I almost fell out of the tree because I was about half asleep myself. It was a quiet morning, hadn't seen a deer,
You ain't
and all of
worked
a
day
sudden,
in your life.
I mean, the woods just shook.
And I watched his ear flicker, and he didn't move again. But I'm still thinking, like, "Oh my gosh, he dropped like that. He's not dead. He had paralyzed him. I'm gonna have to put another one in him. It's gonna be traumatizing." And you called me.
Well, Leroy wasn't there, so it wouldn't have been that bad.
You called me, and I answer, and he hasn't moved since. And you're like, "What'd you do? What'd you shoot?" And I go, "I shot a deer with stickers on the back of his G2s." And you go, "What?" And I said, "Yeah,
Come look at him.
yeah." And I said,
He's right here,
I
15 yards away.
I said he didn't take another step. He goes, "Are you sure you killed him?" I'm like, "I don't know, but he's right here. I can see him."
Is his chest moving?
And we ended up going back to the truck. We
Yeah.
didn't even go up to it.
Which
No.
You made
and-
me move.
and like I said,
completely.
I didn't hear my phone. I woke up at like 8:20, and I had a ton of missed messages, a ton of missed calls, and I start freaking out.
There was no track job.
Well, and
No.
that is my favorite part of deer hunting. If I haven't mentioned that before, I love to track. I feel like I've got a knack for tracking because it's paid off a few times. So that's my bread and butter. I love to be able to track a deer. And
I don't
find a
think we
deer.
would have found your 9 if I didn't find that one drop of blood 50 yards away from the last. Well, we didn't talk about that last week,
But with Barry, I mean, we wouldn't have found my deer
Yeah.
had I not sniffed it out.
Mhm.
No, the
Crabby. Yeah, I
Yep.
found him too.
Yep.
So that I love it. It's electric to me, and I missed it. That's what I kept saying. I missed it. And because you guys you'd gotten it handled, obviously, because it didn't move. And I remember showing up at the house, and there he is. I've got jeans on with the butt ripped out of them because I just grabbed some, so I could be out there as fast as I could. I had blood still on my camo from the day before. And, I was so happy that we had been able to get that buck on the ground.
Well, and this is where, and I know you guys don't agree, we felt like we had 3 deer that year that had stickers, and stickers, these stickers is another episode.
Yeah,
that was the biggest deer that we've ever hunted,
and I don't think we'll ever see another deer in his caliber ever again.
And
I don't think so.
There are these apps that you can put your trail camera pictures into, and it'll estimate 220 to 230. Literally.
Well, I put it into AI not too long ago because AI is the big thing now, and
it said 225.
It said every bit. It was like it literally said it was like a freak of nature, king of the woods.
Yeah.
He's 220 plus inches.
We fully believe that these were offspring of his because they had a lot of the same characteristics,
especially at the age that they were.
We felt like there were 3 of them at that point, and the 2 smaller ones were we called Junior.
No, Junior was the biggest one.
Yeah, Junior.
So there was Junior, and what else?
3.
I got. And then
Stickers.
And then Stickers.
No, Stickers was Daddy. 3 was the third one that we found, which is the one that you killed.
Okay, so the 3 Junior were Stickers, Junior, and 3.
No. You're adding Stickers into
I don't
the
think
3
we
sons.
ever.
Well, what was the bigger one then?
Junior.
Junior was the biggest one with Stickers.
Junior, and then what? Under it?
3.
So there were only 2 that year then.
Stop talking and let me explain. There was Junior. We thought was pushing 170 to 180. His 4-year-old. Yeah. 3 was the third one that we had found, which is the one that you killed. And we named him 3 because we were watching the Ozarks during COVID, and why not? The second one that we found, we thought was around 130 to 140 inches. I do not remember what we named him
I don't know
because
if we named him.
He wasn't on the hit list.
But he wasn't like there were
Okay.
differences that were like, okay, it's not him or him, because it is a different deer, and he's got the same.
Because
finish.
we've got Junior, who's an absolute shooter, and this guy is going to be insane.
Well, and see, that's after the fact. And after the fact is the first time that I ever thought about that. I'm not sure Junior and 3 were different deer.
They are.
And I know you guys have always said, they were different.
No, we were back and forth for a while, but we'll put both videos up. But you
There's
made
a
me
big difference.
Yeah, you made me back out.
It looked like it on trail camera, absolutely.
We backed out. He didn't come out there or whatever, and we went down the hill, and he was still there, and he was gone. Took some pictures for memorabilia. Big word, can't spell it.
It's that Cesar education.
That's right. And we took him back to gut him, and I wasn't. At the time, I thought I spotted him. Obviously, I killed him after we got our
it was
hands
just a
on
great
him.
shot. Just dropped him.
We were gutting him, and I was like, "Where's his lungs?" His lungs were liquefied.
Yeah.
We ended up
and where'd you find the bullet?
lodged on the other side because we found it went through both. It went through one lung, went up, went back down, hit the other lung, and almost exited.
Yeah.
You magic bullet his ass.
Yeah. I mean, he dropped.
Yeah. The
never
bullet
moved.
is, I don't know where I have it. It's somewhere. It's either back there or in my room, but liquefied his lungs. Of course, he's not going to go anywhere. He can't breathe.
Which, in hindsight's 2020, and we've laughed about this since. The taxidermist aged him at 2.5 years old. He's a 152-inch deer, and yeah, it kind of makes sense. He took a 12-gauge slug point blank.
He
probably weighed $150.
Well, not even. I think whenever we took him to St. Laborie,
too.
Yeah, he did.
I think when we took him to St. Laborie, they weighed him after he was gutted.
They couldn't believe
at
him.
like 110.
Yeah,
like he weighed 110
pounds. They could not believe
pounds.
the rack on that young deer.
Yeah,
he weighed 110 pounds after gutted.
Now, I will say this: there was a little bit of remorse.
Well, for him.
You guys didn't tell me until a year later.
You're right. We didn't. We were like,
him.
that is a 2-year-old deer. We are not telling Jaden. Mm-hmm. He will be upset. But see, the thing is, that was the last time we ever hunted that woods. Mm-hmm. We lost that woods after that year. And you know what? I'm glad that was the last deer we killed out of it.
We put A stickers on the ground. That is a 10-year hunt.
That was the only stickers in that bloodline that we put on the ground.
Mhm.
And there were some
two
freaking amazing deer in that bloodline.
to our knowledge, it is the only one that is on the ground.
Yeah.
So I understand it's a 2.5-year-old deer. We'll put pictures up from that morning.
Great 2.5-year-old deer.
But we were talking about hunting mature deer and things like that. I understand that completely. You cannot pass a deer that looks like him.
Yep.
If we pass a deer, the day that I pass a 150-inch deer is the day I hang my bow up. I'm sorry.
I'm not there.
I'm not there either. But
Yeah.
like it's
Oh, that's because you guys have killed 150-inch plus.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is a 150-inch deer at any given point is a beautiful deer. It's
And it is.
most of the time outside of the freaks of nature.
Well,
they're a mature deer.
my coworker's son the other night when we went out for my birthday. He kind of talked to me about his bucks that he killed this past year. He killed 2 deer, and one with the shotgun is the one I did for the Euro mount for. And he was like, I kind of regret taking him. And I'm like, why? He was like, because he could have been bigger next year. I said, buddy, he was a mature buck. His everything about him was mature. I said, and you're in a highly pressured area.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, taking that kind of deer, I said, he was probably 5 or 6 years old. Taking a 5 or 6 year old buck in a highly pressured area is impressive. Doesn't matter what's on his rack. And that's because I've learned it doesn't matter what's on the rack because of that kill that I got, or harvest, whatever you want to call it, back in 2020. It doesn't matter what's up there because obviously there can be 50-inch 2-year-olds out there. It just depends on where you're at. But
Well, and if that would have been a property that we had
Managed.
control of, that we managed,
yeah,
would
see what
be
happens.
would be
Which
Because
upset
there were
about that.
one or
well,
two more.
baby Drew.
Baby droop. Okay, we knew this is a 150 plus inch 3-year-old. This deer is a 15 pointer. I mean, he's got 200-inch potential.
Which
It really does.
If he-
and that deer had 200-inch potential.
Well, especially after learning he was 2 years old, he was 152 inches mainframe 10-pointer with 2 extra kickers, so a 12.
But if that would have been a 500-acre property that we could manage and
He walks.
pass, absolutely.
He walks.
It was not.
But it
Which
wasn't.
in where we're at now, I guess I'll backtrack a little bit. If we had a 150-inch 2-year-old, just like Baby Droop, I'll pass him. We had zero control
Yeah.
Mhm.
out of a 600-acre block outside of our 5 acres.
Yeah.
You
We
know,
had 5
what do you-
acres to hunt.
What do you do?
Yeah.
You take the deer.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
And here's
Well,
where I am
that-
with that. If that deer makes you happy, take it.
Yep.
And I have come a long way. And I said earlier in this episode, I should have let you guys kill some of the deer that I made you pass with a bow when you were younger. And that's just,
I'll tell you this.
live and you learn.
As soon as I saw those 2 kickers off the G2, it was a green light for me.
Yes.
'Cause I was
Well,
yeah,
absolutely.
that's not a question.
It's this one or this one.
Yep.
Both are great.
Yep.
It just ended up not being the bigger one, which is okay because he's still the biggest kill I have.
Yeah.
And you don't want to play that game of looking too long because
No.
then things can go wrong.
But
Yep.
that's
Oh,
that's-
yeah.
As soon as
Yeah.
I can,
You take
I
the
try to-
opportunity.
Which is
you
what I was
have.
worried about with Baby Droop is
Yep.
seeing the turkey claws and
Yep.
going, oh yeah, that's the dude right there.
You
And
take
and
the opportunity that you have. But, and think about this. Okay, you turned 23 yesterday. We're talking about 6 years ago. You were 17 years old. A 152-inch deer.
16 still.
You were 100.
No,
it's
I was 17. I was in
a 152-inch deer.
I am 27 years old. I do not have a 152
Yeah.
inch deer.
I mean, kill that thing every day. I didn't have a 152-inch deer at 17.
I'd been doing backflips. My fat ass would have
Absolutely.
been flipping down the road
I-
at a 152 inch
That's
deer,
if
17 years
If
old.
he would have ran a little bit and then dropped, I would have been doing backflips. But since he dropped in his tracks, I was like, oh, no.
Oh, what did I do? Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
You good?
I'm good.
We wrapping up?
Yep.
I do want to make a special shout out. I want to thank Train for the sweet merch that we were able to get this week.
Yep.
I use Train out of Benton, Illinois, all the time for my junior high basketball program. Texted them and was like, guys, this is my idea. I want to see what we can do. And they absolutely knocked it out of the park.
Killed it. Yeah.
They do it every time. So
I'd have worn one of mine, but I knew you guys would wear yours tonight, so I went with something different.
So that could be something in the works down the road if you're ever interested.
We've got a giveaway that we're going to be doing coming up.
Yep.
Some upcoming episodes.
We've got some stuff to get prepared for that, but we do have a giveaway in the works, and it'll be powered by Train. Yep. So I just wanted to make sure we got that out there. Thank you to Train for doing everything you have for us, and there will be some more stuff down the road. I've already been working on it.
Good. All right. So let's recap, okay? So Jamie kills his first bow buck and then turns right around and kills his biggest buck on the shotgun opener. The very next day, Jaden walks into the exact same woods, kills your biggest buck.
About 24 and a half hours later.
75 yards away. 24 and a half hours, 75 yards away. At that point, it was like, okay, I think the deer just forgot how to survive this year. You guys talk about, with me, they just walk in front of me and go kill me. That's how our entire year went in 2020. That's how the whole season felt in 2020. It just lined up. And looking back, it's the best run we've ever had. But it's one we're going to spend a whole lot of time trying to beat every year since. Been 6 years. We haven't put $5 on the ground since, but I think a day's coming where we'll put 6. I think we'll all tag out in the same year eventually.
$6.
Yep. I think it's going to happen.
I'll never financially recover from this.
You're right. Yes.
I'll be paying
Absolutely.
on that. I'll be paying on that mount for years.
We appreciate you listening to OSNG. If you've ever had a season like we've talked about the last couple of episodes, or if you have a season that you wish you had like that, share this with a buddy or two. We appreciate you listening to OSNG. This is Jamie. This is Jaden. I'm Clark. Till next time, share, hit that like button. We appreciate you listening.